Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. The third installment in the Harry Potter franchise is widely considered to be not just the best movie in the series, but also one of the greatest fantasy films of all time. Released to critical acclaim, Prisoner of Azkaban was highly praised for its direction by director Alfonso Cuarón and its fantastic visuals that still holds up nearly 20 years onward since its release back in 2004. The film was nominated for multiple Academy Awards for its fantastic score by Star Wars and Indiana Jones legend John Williams, who had also composed the previous two films, and another for its visual effects. Personally, I also hold the opinion that Prisoner of Azkaban is the best film in the series, so a game based on the movie should also be good, right? Well, it is good. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, the game, despite its average review scores, is a huge improvement over the previous two games. Carrying over the same formula from the first two games, the game takes place over a series of 5 days and 5 nights, making it a rather short experience that, similar to its predecessors, can be completed within a mere handful of hours. However, for what is presented here, it's a much better experience. For the first time, Harry isn't the only playable character. Ron and Hermione are also playable characters, and despite that all three carry the same base attack and defensive spells, all three characters are tasked with learning new spells that are only specific to that character. For example, only Ron can learn the Lumos spell, which is used in puzzles on crystal balls and ghost enemies. Only Hermione can learn Glacius and Reparo, both heavily used in various puzzles throughout the game. Only Harry can learn Carpe Retractum and Expecto Patronum, used in both puzzles and combat against enemies with shields and against Dementors. What's more, each character has a unique ability that the other two don't have. Harry can climb up ropes and jump gaps, allowing him to reach high spots in the environment. Ron can detect hidden passages and secrets in the stage. Hermione can squeeze through small spaces, allowing her to reach areas that Harry and Ron can't. All of these abilities play a huge part in the puzzles, which, while not difficult, are much more clever compared to the first two games. You can tell the developers put more time and thought into the puzzles this time around. Another element that was improved are the boss fights, which have a much more grandiose presentation compared to the first two games. One of the best elements that benefited greatly in this installment are the stealth encounters, which are less numerous compared to the first two games, but are much easier and less frustrating to get through thanks to the removal of prefix, who are replaced by stationary armor that have a visible field of view that's easily avoidable. And the player is able to change the camera perspective on the fly with the press of one of the shoulder buttons, which was implemented specifically for these stealth sections. The pacing of the combat system is much faster, and the game overall is a lot more responsive in general. Even the character models, which look a bit more like the actors in the movie this time around, have a lot more expression. The voice acting closely resembles the actors from the movies, and the dialogue is written perfectly to where they feel like the characters. Overall, everything has been improved, with the one downside being that Quidditch is not available in the third game. Instead, it's been replaced with the Hippogriff Buckbeak, being made available as a flying mount from the movie. As far as the story goes, this game does a decent job of showcasing events from the movie while leaving things out that's better experienced in the film. An example being when Harry learns that Sirius Black is his godfather.
Tell me what this is all about.
Well, now years ago, when Harry Potter's parents realized they were marked for death, do you remember? They went into hiding. Few knew where they were. One who did was Sirius Black. And he told you-know-who.
Not only did Black lead you-know-who to the Potters that night, but he also killed one of their friends, Peter Pettigrew.
It was.
Yes, Sirius Black was and remains to this day Harry Potter's godfather.
That was left out of the game. Also, the events at the end of the movie with Harry, Hermione, and the Time Turner are largely glossed over through narration, which may have been for the best.
Pettigrew to Hogwarts, the full moon rose, and Professor Lupin transformed into a werewolf. In the confusion, Pettigrew escaped.
Sirius! Do something, Harry! Please!
Expelliarmus!
Harry!
I will say personally that the Expecto Patronum charm wasn't very satisfying in the game compared to the movie, which is one of the best scenes across the entire franchise.
Harry!
Expecto Patronum!
Even after you complete the game, there are still side activities and other unique unlocks that's available, making the game the best one in the series thus far when it comes to replayability. Overall, I don't really have anything negative to say about this game. It's one of the better movie tie-ins. It's rather too bad that EA couldn't continue this streak, but I'll save that for the next retrospective. As it stands, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, the game, is actually good.